Hey everybody, welcome back once again to the RetroGameFix.com Retro Jones podcast number 96. This is your host Mitch.
And this is Mike.
And that has to be the second week in a row that I fucked up that intro. Whoops.
Why? What did you do? I wasn't even paying attention. I just wait sometimes for you to say, and this is Mitch, and then I go.
I don't even think anybody would have noticed. I don't even care, to be honest. But anyways, welcome back once again to another week of retro gaming and modern gaming goodness.
Wait, did you say episode 96?
I did, I think.
Do you know what that's the opposite of?
The opposite of episode 69.
The all-elusive episode 69.
We still haven't done an episode 69, or have we? It might be in the vault somewhere. It might be in the RetroGameFix.com vaults, located deep in the bowels of...
Located deep in my bowels.
Yeah, I was going to say in guts, bowels.
Anyway, right on.
And, cool. So what, another week, another dollar. I know we got some stuff to talk about today. We got the NES Classic. We got the PS4 Pro. You want to talk about a little bit? I've got a couple of predicaments, and specifically... And
just so I just want to get this one out of the way because I can't wait to hit the button. So
Yep.
I'm just going to play this. So There's been something missing for quite a while.
I've been missing. I personally have missed this.
We had a couple tech issues that didn't allow us to patch certain audio into the podcast, but.
This has been like almost a running joke for I got like a year plus, I think, where it's like, hey, I got this. Let's get this. I got this audio thing figured out.
Yeah. And we never have, and I don't hear. So for new listeners, sometimes we come across predicaments that we need help with making decisions. But what kind of predicament, you ask? Well, let me play.
Let me tell you my story. I got a man-sized predicament.
Oh, shit. Well, it's a big one.
Uh-oh, that is a predicament.
There we go.
Big one.
That's it.
Oh, I thought you were going to get the rest of it. Goes like...
Oh, well, let's do that one more time. Here.
Okay, it's been a while.
It's been a while. We apologize. And just to double check, Mitch, how loud is that on your end?
It's perfect.
All right, so let's play that one more time. So here's the deal.
Let me tell you my story. I got a man-sized predicament. And it's a big one. Goes like this. Yeah.
There we go. Man-sized predicaments, my friend. So what do you have? Let's just kick it off since we've got it. What kind of man-sized predicament do you have this week? God, that feels
Gene,
good, by the way.
It really does. I mean, nothing better than that. That is a for anybody that's been out there listening to us for a while. You know that's kind of a regular part of our show, but really helps too because helps us kind of talk some man-sized predicaments through. And I definitely have some this week.
I think we both do. So let's start off with the man-sized predicaments because they're big ones.
They are big ones.
So let's hit it off.
All right, goes like this. So this week, I'm definitely, I'm set pinball wise for the most part. Again, I a couple weeks ago here before last podcast, I got a Pinbot and a Bride of Pinbot, and I got to say, out of all my pinballs, that I have some really good pinballs now. My favorite is still Pinbot. It just is. But that's not my man-sized predicament. My man-sized predicament is this. I want to pimp that thing out like crazy. And I have a play field that I could get from like, I guess the UK. It's like $850, right? Mm-hmm. And I just bought a new set of plastics for it because at some other time I'll explain my stupid screw up. I smashed the hell out of one of the pelt plastics on mine. So that's like $150, and then I want to just deck the thing out because I don't think I'm probably going to sell that one again. So anyway, CPR, Classic Playfield Reproductions, who I basically plug a lot on this show, decided to hate me and come out with it's not even a reproduction. Pinbot generally had a translate, which is basically like a printed photo type thing or whatever that was clipped to the glass. So anyways, CPR had to go out and make a brand new mirrored back glass for Pinbot. And now that's like another $300. So the thing is, I'm like, okay, all right, fine. That sucks. I'm going to have to spend more money, but I got to have it, right? So then this week, a path to a Ghostbusters came back through here. And if that
a Ghostbusters pinball. So for new listeners, you are a avid pinball collector, an arcade collector, and you wanted the Ghostbusters.
That was my original thing. I was like, I'm going to get Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I kind of got rid of some of my arcades that I've had, that were quite valuable. And I was like, I'm totally going to get a Ghostbusters pinball. And I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I ended up getting like 4 pinballs instead of buying that one. But it has just come to my attention that I, within the next month, may have a path to a Ghostbusters Pro pinball. Once again, so
God, it looks so fun.
I know, it kills me too.
I'm not helping you here.
You're not helping me because here's the situation. If I had that, because basically what's going to happen is I'm about to sell my baby Pac-Man, and I just never played anymore. It's a fun game, but I've got way too many things that I'd rather play at this point. So that would leave me with Whirlwind, Earthshaker, Pinbot, Bride of Pinbot, Roller Coaster Tycoon, which by the way, I love it, and a Ghostbusters, which just makes me like, what am I going to play first? That's my why. I mean, in that case, I can't really go forth and pimp out the Pinbot in a timely manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do the Pinbot now.
Yeah, that is a man-sized predicament.
I guess it's a man-sized predicament. So my problem is if I get the Ghostbusters, that cash is gone, which is fine. I don't care. I mean, it's all arcade funds at this point.
I mean, how much? Yeah, shit. That's a tough one. I mean, you're gonna play the Ghostbusters a lot though, and the Pinbot is still doable. I mean, that's still playable right now, correct?
Oh yeah, the Pinbot's great. I mean, I had a it all works great. I mean, I play the crap out of it. But here's the one thing on that. There's one time sensitive thing on that I may risk missing out on, is that CPR, again, Classic Playfield Reproductions, repro'd the Pinbot Playfield, I think in 2012 or 13. And they're really actually pretty hard to find. And the ones that I've had my eye on, 2 of them have dropped off the map already, and this one's in the UK, and it's maybe the last chance I get to have to buy one. But it's like if I buy the Ghostbusters, I can't really justify spending $850 on a playfield. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
But again, if the opportunity arises where I can actually snag a Ghostbusters Pro, I think that's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, I don't. Yes, I agree. It's just then you're kind of on hold with spending the money on the Pinbot and then getting where you want to be. But I feel like
maybe I'm just being greedy.
Well, I mean, would you pass on the Pinbot playfield, or would you just splurge it out and figure out the cash later?
That's the thought, but I just don't know if I can justify it right now. I mean, it might take a month or so. I don't really want to go into debt on it, but I could probably figure it out in the next month or so, maybe. But then again, I don't know. That's my true.
I mean, that's the man-sized predicament, because part of me says, if you're really going to miss the playfield, I mean, you're going to miss one or the other if you don't go, take on some debt for one of them.
Yeah, I may.
I don't know. I don't know.
The thing is, I've been keeping an eye on the 2 playfields that I did have an eye on for years, and they've been there for years. And then all of a sudden, in the last week or month, one of them dropped off in the last week, and the other one dropped off in the last couple months. So I'm like, I feel like there may still be one out there at some point, but And that's not one that I can send off to HSA to restore. Like to basically, they're amazing, by the way. HSApinball.com. Check out some of these restorations they do. But I can't. That particular one, I can't have them do because they don't do System 11 machines, because the way they produce those play fields, they clear coated, I guess, the inserts, and then they put Mylar over the top of them. So even after you remove the Mylar, if you try clearing them, you get these white little splotchy things all over the inserts. So I can't do that. That's not an option with the Pinbot play field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like either have an average Pinbot play field, which I part of me thinks I could probably live with. Like it's still a blast. It's not like it drives me nuts or anything like that. It's just kind of like a little project that I have going on. But I really want both. So that's my man-sized predicament. I mean, I guess I could splurge and like put it on a credit card or something like that. But like, I'm trying not to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
So yeah, that's my man-sized predicament, and it is a big one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not much help. I mean, I guess if I were to give you a recommendation, I would probably get the Ghostbusters, because I feel like that might be what you would regret missing most.
If I have the means to get a Ghostbusters, like, there's no doubt that's going to be my thing. Like I said, I don't feel like that's really a man-sized predicament now that we've kind of fleshed it out here. But
well, that's why we fire these things up.
Yeah, totally. No, that's a given. I'm not going to get too excited because it's I don't even know if I'd give it maybe it's 50-50 right now. It's an okay chance of having it. I'm just not going to get my hopes up on it because like the delays and all that crap just really turned me off to it the first time. So
yeah, I'm with you. Delays piss me off too. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's not delayed, if I can get it by, I was told like the middle of December, I'm in. Count me in. I'll figure it out, And, but I have a direct path to a Ghostbusters possibly. But again, my man-sized predicament is with this playfield that I feel like is a time-sensitive thing. If I screw around too long, it's going to be gone. Somebody else is going to discover this. And, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. So anyway, I hear you also have a man-sized predicament. Do you need to cue up the music again?
You know what? I don't want to wear it out, but for the sake of the fact that we haven't been able to run this...
It's new again, yeah.
Yeah, it's new again, so here we go. You know what, Mitch? I've got a predicament.
Oh, yeah?
Let me tell you my story. I got a man-sized predicament. And it's a big one. Goes like this. Yeah.
So there we go. So... I have a man-sized predicament.
Is it a big one?
It's pretty big. So I did a quick Skrillio at night this morning, and we had talked briefly about this, but I've got a TV issue.
Yes, you do.
And I found out that, so apparently these consoles, these video gaming consoles that we love so much. Apparently, HDR is the big push on our video game consoles. Get a video game console to use on your brand new 4K HDR TV because these video game consoles are HDR compatible.
Right.
Turns out that HDR on most of these TVs was generally useless for HDR on consoles because of huge input lag. And Samsung and Sony were able to patch their TVs and did so in a pretty quick manner. But LG, the TV that I own, has not patched in a lag-free HDR, and neither has Vizio or Toshiba or Panasonic or a lot of the other LCD TV manufacturers. And considering I have an LG TV, and the reason I bought a 4K TV was because I wanted 4K and HDR. And then the reason I went out and then bought an Xbox One S was because I wanted 4K upscaling, in that case, in HDR. And then the reason that I returned my PlayStation 4 Slim and then went through a whole bunch of BS in order to get a PlayStation 4 Pro was because I wanted 4K upscaling and HDR. And I have a TV that HDR is useless. So, I am still pretty goddamn close to being like, I should just sell this one and get an HDR TV that works. Otherwise, I just wait it out and hope LG can patch this son of a bitch.
So do you think that's possible, or do you think it's just like it's something that's not doable?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of the thing is, I was saying this earlier, I actually technically think my games look better without HDR on. Unfortunately, now that means that I've wasted a ton of money.
Yeah.
But
both of us have been known to do.
I'm one to do. Regardless of that, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I suppose I wait and see if LG issues a statement that says we can or cannot do this, and if they can't, then obviously I have a decision to make.
Right.
Maybe it's not. I mean, again, like we do often, maybe it's not a man-sized predicament. I suppose I probably just wait this thing out, see what LG says, and then make a decision from there.
Yeah, but how long do you wait it out before you decide that you can't wait it out any longer?
How long do you like as other people or me?
You.
Oh, fucking probably a week.
You think LG is going to fix it in a week, huh?
I'm not worried about them fixing it in a week. I'm worried about knowing if they can or cannot fix it within a week.
I see. Like just doing some research and stuff.
Right. Like if they say, yo, we can't fix this thing, and I'm sitting here saying, I just spent $700 on consoles and X amount on a fucking HDR TV, and you're telling me that you're not able to patch this thing, then I got to be honest, I probably would sell it. Eat the money and go buy a new TV. You know.
Yeah. So what's the deal on that? You were talking about that when we talked about that earlier. Like you'd said there's only one particular TV that's like $7,000 that actually truly does HDR.
Yeah, but it's not. So at that level, it's not actually HDR. So I went into Best Buy after this whole kerfuffle and started talking to the guys. And maybe this was just a Best Buy SKU. I've not done any further research online.
Yeah.
But essentially, so I did do more research to find out more about HDR. So apparently, there's this weird dynamic. So you have 8-bit color, which is your standard 1080p color, and then you have 10 and 12-bit color, which HDR10 and then some Dolby Digital HDR color range supports.
Mm-hmm.
And which that gives you trillions of colors, right?
Right.
Apparently HDR is not. So what I found out, even if you have a native 10 or 12-bit panel TV, which from again general research are now $5,000 to $7,000.
Right.
Native. I'm speaking pure native here, not the because technically speaking, the LG TV I have is a 10-bit TV. I'm talking native 10-bit, not this bullshit. It still doesn't mean that it's HDR. Because HDR is a dynamics, and I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, call the show 678-995-5103 or questions at RetroGameFix.com. But apparently, HDR is this post-processing that says we've got all of these colors. It takes a look at the contrast, it takes a look at the brightness of the picture, and adjusts it in order to make the brights brighter and the blacks blacker.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of the bit depth of your TV, this post-processing apparently still needs to happen.
Yeah. Which
is mind-boggling to me because, the whole point of HDR is them saying it's going to give you more accurate color representation. Well, if you're post-processing the image outside of what was actually recorded to make the brights pop and the blacks blacker, then that's not accurate representation of what was actually recorded on the film. I mean, this is outside of video games, so I'm completely mind-boggled by it. And so that's the other part of me that's just saying, I don't even know if I want to get HDR. I don't even know what HDR is. HDR may just be one of these marketing things that gets everyone... Yeah, one of these gimmicks that gets everyone excited. And usually I don't buy into them, right? The 240 hertz bullshit, like that was never a thing. But that was pretty easy to see through because you go, well, my source is only sending 30 frames. Where are these other 210 frames coming from? Like, that's easy to figure out. But this color thing threw me for a loop. And so part of me feels like I got taken. Maybe I did. Maybe marketing got me. So part of me is also like, maybe I just ride this TV out until this HDR thing figures itself out, because it doesn't seem like anyone has any idea about
that may be the thing to do, you know? Like, I know it's easy. I mean, you do whatever the hell you want to do, but it seems like you're right. It just seems like kind of a man-sized predicament.
I guess that was an accidental.
I was hoping you'd let that thing play.
Oh yeah, well I should have, but yeah. So
you can't do it now.
No, obviously not. But yeah, I mean that's where I'm kind of torn. And there's people out there that know more than me, but then there's these other, you know, you have your RGB color modes, you have your like YCBR 444 color modes,
right? Yeah.
Right, but it's not component because they're passing it through HDMI. I don't fucking know anymore, dude. This is why I'm at like a complete loss. If this were audio, I could tell you everything about audio, but this video thing seems like such a kerfuffle, and it's just a mess of marketing jargon and buzzwords, and I have no idea. Man, I have no idea. And it's like, that's where I'm like,
I think I'd probably wait before you get rid of anything.
Yeah, because it's just like, I don't want to dump this TV and then all of a sudden I go spend, $2,000 on another one, and then
you're like, shit, I'm just as well off as I was.
Yeah, and just be like, wow, that was still a bunch of bullshit. I still don't want HDR, right? And you're right. I got to hold off. This one is one of those where I really do need to just have some willpower and not spend money.
It's gonna drive you nuts. It's like when you told me about the 3DS with the different screen types and stuff, and I found out that mine's the suckier one. Like, I actually did stew over that for a couple days, and I'm like, stop it. You were fine before Mike told you this. You're going to be fine now.
Yeah, my bad.
No, I mean, it's fine. But, you definitely... I have a sneaking suspicion that what's going to happen is if you do dump that one and take a loss and eat some on it, and then end up spending a couple grand on a TV, you're gonna find out I don't like this. And now I especially don't like it because I just spent like a couple $1,000 more.
You know what would fix that?
What's that?
A picture of me with a sad Jordan face.
My God, that would be hilarious.
Just standing in front of my freaking TV.
Sad Jordan's the best.
Sad Jordan's has still not gotten old ever since he retired. It's so good. It's the best meme to ever hit the internet.
Every time I'm feeling down, and there's been plenty of times in the last couple of weeks, a Sad Jordan always rises to the occasion and makes me feel a lot better about me, even if it's at my own expense.
Yeah, Sad Jordan does that for people.
Yeah, it does. It is the funniest damn thing ever, except if you're Jordan. I guess he's probably pretty pissed about it.
Jordan seems like the kind of guy that takes himself so serious. Actually,
that's one of the best parts about it, I think.
Well, that's also my favorite reason that Uncle Denzel cracks me up, because a reporter asked Denzel Washington about Uncle Denzel.
Mm.
Guess what his response was?
He was irate?
He was not irate, but he was just like rich asshole actor guy that was like, my wallet isn't angry. Like, shut the fuck up, Uncle Denzel. Your wallet isn't angry, but you're angry at the internet. He's like, bunch of people in their basements. Like, yo, dog. Well, I'm in my basement right now, but like, come on, man. You're an actor.
I'm going to be in my basement after we're done podcasting, playing pinball.
Like, hey, Denzel, I love you as an actor. You're great. But check it, like, this whole bunch of geeks in their basement thing, get over it. And then like, look at my wallet. Come on, Denzel. You're better than that. You're better than that, Uncle Denzel.
Is a picture of his wallet somewhere?
I don't know, probably not.
I want to see his wallet. I don't know.
I'd love to see Denzel's wallet.
Right? It's probably got a couple cards in there, maybe his ID or something.
Yeah, I bet his wallet looks damn near the same as mine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a black leather wallet with a bunch of charge cards in it and a license and a few receipts from Chipotle.
Does your wallet like talk to you or something?
Yeah, like do you have some weird wallet that just is, better than the rest of our wallets? Like, what an asshole.
Does your wallet have like moods apparently?
It's a mood ring wallet.
Exactly.
that knows
his wallet is happy. Does that mean it's like green or something?
No, it's a Twitter aware wallet that can tell when Uncle Denzel is trending, and then it just gets fatter in order to make everybody jealous of it.
It feeds on this.
It feeds on the hashtag on Uncle Denzel, and just more money fills it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wish I had one of those wallets.
What a dick.
My wallet's sad right now. It's about to be really sad.
Yeah. I actually was just paying bills today and then like kind of looking at some shit and was like, I should probably stop for at least the rest of the year.
I know. I just say the same thing, dude. I'm like, every time something like this happens where I'm like, oh, I'm going to get this now. I'm going to get that. There's like a sad Jordan on my wallet, unlike Uncle Denzel's wallet.
Yeah. So we should probably pivot. So we've got a couple options here.
Yes.
I think the most obvious, since we've been kind of rambling on, singing our song.
NES Classic.
Yeah, I think we should probably go to NES Classic here, 26 minutes in.
Well, that's a big... yes, exactly. And finally, exactly. Like, and thank you for listening to that 27 minutes of bullshit.
Hey, we give updates. Maybe next time some days we open with what everyone wants to hear about, and some days we want to talk
about our man-sized predicaments.
Sometimes we don't get to spend enough time on the telephone with each other, and we just talk it out on the podcast, so we apologize.
Or we don't.
Or we don't apologize.
But
anyways, Classic, man.
So the big news for this week, obviously, the NES Classic came out, and of course, you got one.
Yeah, I got one ordered, and I was able to get an actual real confirmation that said it shipped Saturday. So I do have one on its way.
So you told me that you text me at like 8 in the morning or something like that. For me, maybe 7:30. You're like, hey, Target says they're showing them in stock. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm like, awesome. So I'm like, all right, I'll get up and I'll go to Target. And so you call me. You're on your way to Target when I'm on my way to Target.
Yep. And
you, I guess, arrived at Target way before I did. And
yeah,
bring us through it.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it goes. So anyway, I went to bed on Thursday night. I wasn't even thinking about the Nintendo Classic. And then I woke up actually pretty early, like around 6, and it didn't like dawn on me that the Nintendo Classic was out. And then I decided, like, prior to I lay in bed and I checked stock. Actually, I wasn't even I don't even remember. But anyway, nevertheless, I check stock. I find out that there's stock. I text you.
Yep.
And you're like, oh yeah, my stores are showing stock too. And we go back and forth and figure out that Best Buy, you couldn't really check stock on BestBuy.com because they didn't have the like store pickup thing open, and then you couldn't like check stores that wasn't live. And then obviously Amazon wasn't live. Yada yada yada. So I was like, fuck it, I don't really care. And then it started to eat me, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go to Target. So I leave work a little early. There's a Target, for work a little early. There's a Target pretty close to my house. I was like, I'm going to check it out. Mm-hmm. I pull up to Target at about 8 o'clock, right when the doors enter, or open. But the doors must have just opened before I pulled in. And so I don't see anybody. And I'm like, okay, maybe it is. Maybe I got this. Maybe I'm getting one of these things, right?
Right.
And so I'm walking in, and I mean, it's literally like 8:04 at this point, 8:05. Like, it's literally right after the store opens. So motherfuckers must have been mad dashing back to electronics, because about halfway back, I'm seeing people walking out with the NES Classic. And I'm like, all right, sweet. I'm going to get one of these. I get back there. I get in line. There's like, 5-6 people in front of me. A couple other people get their NES Classics. They're walking out. And they're like, that's it, fellas. We're all out.
Nice.
I'm like, what? It's 8:06. It's 8:06. What do you mean you're out? And yeah, they got 6 of them in stock. So I saw like the 2 people that were walking out, I saw. And then like maybe another 2 or whatever. And then like the 2 people that got them. And then there was like 4, like I was the last person in line. So it was like 4 more of us that were like, fuck. And then I'm walking out and some guy's like, I'm hearing GameStop's getting a few. You could just go over there. And I'm like, when's GameStop open? He's like, I think 10. And I'm like, I've got a job and shit.
You're like, which way is the area with like the billy clubs and stuff?
I'm like, I've got a job and shit, dog. I'm not trying to make $60 on eBay. I can't go wait at the fucking GameStop outside for 2 hours, man.
And those guys probably snapped them up for themselves anyways.
Well, I hope so. I hope that, well, the GameStop kids, yeah, probably. But I mean, I hope anybody that bought one wasn't flipping them, but it seems ridiculous. But yeah, so anyway, 6 of them.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You ask the associate from Target where the billy club section is, go buy one of those and go get you an NES Classic from one of those 6 people that walked out with one.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I wasn't going to go to those lengths. But yeah, so then I called you once I got out to my car. I was like, I didn't get one. I was
still on my way.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck, it's not even worth checking, is it? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know, man.
Honestly, the only reason at that point, I was like, well, I'll still go because they had a Starbucks in it too. And I was like, Starbucks coffee is like freaking like, I'll be productive today if I go get that.
I want to, let me just side
diesel, man.
Let me side tangent this because I'm from Minnesota. Obviously, the home of Caribou Coffee, which I don't think is not totally nationwide, but
it's in Atlanta, or was.
Well, there's Starbucks in like some of our grocery stores and Targets and stuff here, but we don't actually have. There's one standalone Starbucks by my work. It's the only one I know.
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks is far superior to Caribou Coffee.
It is.
Anybody that says otherwise is drinking the Minnesota Kool-Aid, so get off of it.
It's like, I don't even know what they put in their coffee because that crap is the strongest. Like, I can drink that at like noon. I can drink that at like noon, and then I'll have like insomnia like for the next 2 nights. It's awesome.
Yeah, we started. So I bought that new Keurig, the Keurig 2.0. Mm-hmm. But it also, the new ones also, you can throw the normal K-Cups in there. But I got the Keurig 2.0, just put your own ground beans in it.
Uh-huh.
So I just buy the Starbucks ground stuff from like the grocery store.
Yep.
We got some like French press espresso. Oh my God, just a little bit of creamer, fucking little packet of sweetener and just that. I like it black, but man, this stuff, dude.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Anyway, the Starbucks superior to Caribou.
I'm like, I can't, I'm fine with that. I want to go, I'll go for that anyways. And it's not like, there's the Starbucks in every corner here, so it's whatever. But I was just like, screw it. Yeah, I'll check it out. And, worst case scenario, I go get coffee. Big deal. So I get in there, and there's a girl that's like right in front of me, and I'm ready to like just like throw somebody to the ground if I need to. But no, I'm kidding about that. I don't care that much. But anyways, this girl is like looking all around. I mean, just like frantically in front of me, and I'm just kind of like watching her like, okay, well, I don't have to look like a dumbass. Like if she can't find it, I hear she asked the guy, and the guy's like, no, I'm sorry, I haven't seen that or something. So some other guy asked me if I need any help, and I said, I'm just looking for Nintendo Classic, probably, with no luck. And he's like, no, there were people camped out in front of our store at 6 a.m, and every store in our district is out of them. And I was like, whoa, I was like, yeah. I truly do not care that much. I mean, I care enough to go into the store and pay $60 for one if there is one in the store, but it's an emulator console. Like you said, your words, which you're totally right on that. I don't care. I really, truly don't care, because when Nintendo starts deciding to produce one, then I'll buy one. I don't give a crap. I'm not going to go buy one secondhand on eBay. I just truly don't care. I'll get one when I get one, Yeah. You know me.
Well, no, and so this is where, so I got on, I thought a little bit more about this, because I went on a little bit of a Twitter rant yesterday about it because I got one. So I eventually actually was lucky enough to get my order to process on GameStop.
Well, you had texted me on that too when you were able to get on there, and the site was just crashed the entire time.
Yeah, so I'll just tell that story real quick on how my order came to be. I get an email from Nintendo that says, Nintendo NES Classic now available. I'm like, fucking of course Nintendo would send an email at 2:30 in the afternoon to tell me the Nintendo Classic is available when it's obviously not available.
Of course.
And then I see buy now, and I'm like, okay, this has to be a spam phishing email. There's no
Right.
way this is legit. So I click it, and I hit the Nintendo website. And then it's like, buy from here. And I'm like, now this is really a phishing email. Like
Right.
there's no way this is real. So I backed out, and there's a firewall at work, so I can't actually like go to Nintendo.com or GameStop.com.
Right.
So I quick tether my laptop at work to my phone so I can use my phone's internet just to check it. So I fucking go to Nintendo.com. Sure enough, right on the front page, there's a Nintendo Classic now available. Sweet. Click it. Brings me to the same page I was on. And I'm
Right.
like, all right, well, now it's not a phishing email. I click Toys R Us. I click Amazon. I click Target. I click Walmart, right? And I never thought of clicking GameStop. So I've clicked GameStop last. Brings me to it. Boom. Add to cart. Fucking like clickety, add to cart. Get
You're
through
like, no way.
Get through the thing, and that's when I quick was like, fuck it, and then got it out to you. Fucking screenshotted my confirmation on my phone. And you're like, no shit. And then you probably tried to go and it didn't work and da.
Right.
And so yeah, that's how I got it. But yeah, the site crashed and I was one of the lucky few to get through. So kudos to me. But it still doesn't change my stance about Nintendo on this instance, especially after my Amiibo situation.
Yeah, and later too. I mean, what the guy at Target and what you had said as well, and what everybody already knew is that okay, at 5 o'clock supposedly Amazon was going to put them up as well, and so I was like, after the GameStop thing didn't work out, I was just like, whatever, I don't care, and I'll just wait for the Amazon thing at 5 o'clock. And what happens when the Amazon thing happens at 5 o'clock? Add to cart, your shopping cart is empty. Add to cart, your shopping cart is empty. Like, Amazon was all buggy about it or something too, and I have no idea what happened. I tried like for a couple minutes, and I was just like, screw it. I was like, I'll get it some other day, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing. So I went on a little bit of a Twitter rant about this, and not as crazy as I've done before, but just I have one on the way, but I'm still sick of this Nintendo bullshit. And
Right.
they come out and release a statement later that says we had no idea it was going to be so popular. That's that's bullshit. You've been saying that for 30 years now. Fuck off.
We're gonna give every place 5 or 6 of them, and really, yeah, right. Don't even try it.
Right, and so I think, and again, I'm gonna buy a Switch. I'm gonna buy it. I buy into it every time. But so the first thing that started to piss me off was I was going through the Twitter hashtags and mentions, and overwhelmingly people were just pissed off that they didn't get one. And it's getting to the point for me where, regardless if you can wait, regardless if you have the patience, Nintendo is shitting on its most hardcore fans, and those most hardcore fans will turn to eBay and probably pay a double markup. It's 2016. Get enough
But they
in
don't
the stores.
care.
No, they don't care. But that's the odd part where I'm having trouble connecting the dots, because this is an emulator console, and hardcore gamers mostly, and especially collectors, want it just to have it because we're Nintendo fans, right? And like, yeah, I want the HDMI and blah, 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 and I want to F around with it, but mostly I'll still play Nintendo games on my Nintendo. But casual people aren't going to go out, and they're not going to be running around, and they're not going to be looking for it, and they don't care. Like, oh, that Nintendo Classic thing came out, oh, I couldn't find it, right? I mean, this is just Nintendo, again, doing the limited release, getting its most hardcore fans excited, continuing to engage their hardcore fans over the course of what's going to probably be, the next 4 to 8 weeks. And as, big Nintendo fans, if we didn't get one, well, you're not going to, and I'm not going to now, but I'll be honest, I would have if I didn't get one. Going to be checking ads, checking instock.com, checking stores on Fridays and Sundays. I mean, and that's what everybody's going to be doing to get their hands on this. Instead of just saying, it's 2016, thank you for being a fan, here's a lot of stock, go out and buy your Nintendo NES Classic. Being able to trend on Twitter with a bunch of people saying, I'm having so much fun, I just don't understand making false demand when there's no need to make false demand anymore. I don't understand it. It works for them, obviously. I just don't understand it, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, and honestly, it's not like the ones on eBay. I did check all the sold listings and all that stuff. God. Okay, so I saw some that sold for like $60. And I saw some that sold for like $80, and I saw some that sold for like $100. It wasn't really like, yeah, there were some ridiculous ones that went out there too, but there were just some people. I don't even know why you would go through that, like selling it for $60.
Because then you're gonna lose money. But
anyways, on a side note,
just to tell you, there's one that's at $205 right now with 3 minutes left. There's one for $200 with.
Are people bidding on it?
Left. Yeah, bids. There's one at $281 with 22 seconds left right now.
Well, good for them. And there's one. I looked on Craigslist. I don't know if you looked on Craigslist, but I've got like somebody's like has a wanted ad for like one for $100. They're willing to pay $125. People are selling it for like $300, $350, $500. Like, yeah, right. But there's several for $500. Several for $500.
But so this is my question. This is my question to you, because I don't know if you're. I think, and I don't know where you're coming from, but I'm getting pretty offended by this, and and this sounds ridiculous, but it's because we're talking about freaking video games here, and I probably sound like I'm freaking 12 years old, but it's becoming more difficult for me to support the brand when they're willingly employing these tactics, and it is shitting on its most loyal of consumers. And if it was anybody else other than Nintendo, I would stop buying the product. And I've done it before with other products. And in the case of Nintendo, I don't do it because I love their games. Mm-hmm. But this is so shitty. And the only people it benefits are the scalpers, and the people that it craps on are the diehard fans. And regardless if you have the patience or not, it's just a business practice that bothers the hell out of me.
No, I get that, but we're two different buyers, like you and I, as far as that kind of stuff goes too. Like, you're on the cutting edge of everything as far as if something new comes out, you want it, Right. And that's cool. Right. That's cool. I get that. I'm the opposite. I'm like, yeah, if there's something I want, I got plenty of things to keep, we both have plenty of things. Don't get me wrong on that. But to keep us occupied or whatever. But I'm just like, whatever, fuck it. If I had an NES Classic like 4 months from now or 5 months from now, so be it. I'm like, if they're gonna be douches about it, then nothing I can do about it except for just buy it when it comes in. I don't care. Like the Amiibos, we were talking about that the other day too. You said the full set of the first generation ones aren't worth crap now. No,
they're not, and that's right. But I think so. Here's where I'm going. But I don't think our mindset is any different, because even though the generations we're talking about are different, and the shit that I'm buying is eventually not going to be worth anything, and the stuff that you're buying holds its value. I don't think
maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think the mental way we look at it. I mean, you look at the Ghostbusters or the Pinbot or the Bride of Pinbot. You're like, I gotta have it. I don't think that's much different as far as like the I want it changes.
No, it's not. I mean,
you know what I mean?
The impulse is the same.
Yeah, so I think the impulse is the same. But I suppose it's probably actually more or more important for you to actually have that impulse, because shit's fewer and far between. When you're talking about collectibles like
most of the stuff
pinballs,
but they stopped making them 30 years ago.
Right, but for something like this, I think it hits those same notes for a person like me going like, I can't fucking find it, I want it right now. Mm-hmm. And those things were made 30 years ago. I just feel like it's bullshit that a company continues to hit those same impulse. They're intentionally hitting those same impulse notes, and they know it. That Nintendo's
That's a good point.
Nintendo knows they're hitting those impulse notes. It's the I can't have it, so I want it. And they continue to do it. And it only shits on the people that actually want to buy their products. And it worked with the Wii U, even though it technically shouldn't have. It didn't work, or it worked with the Wii, even though it technically probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
It didn't work with the Wii U. And it worked with the NES Classic mostly because it's a fucking NES Classic and it's a dope-ass little tiny thing that everyone wants to put on the shelf just like the Wii U's. Mm-hmm. The core of that bothers the hell out of me. And again, I'll buy Nintendo. I'll always buy Nintendo. I just wish I wish they'd figure out a way that wasn't so divisive among fans. It just bothers me. I mean, I'm actually disappointed and kind of out of breath on the whole situation. Like, I know there's a bunch of hypocrisies and everything that I'm talking about, but when it comes to being a fan of something, you just go, come on, man. Help out the fans. You knew what the demand was going to be. You knew.
You always know. You've been around the block for how many years now? 100 years. So anyway, yeah, they knew. Of course they knew, obviously. But yeah, I hear you. I understand that. I guess I'm not frustrated with them. I just think that's what Nintendo does, and I guess I've just gotten the acceptance thing. But how pissed would you have been if you hadn't gotten one? You know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty pissed right now. Even had gotten one.
You have one, and you're pissed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, having seen the reaction on Twitter, I guess maybe I'm trying to be the voice of the people that didn't get one right now, on behalf of our listeners and Nintendo fans. I guess is overwhelmingly I saw people pissed off at fucking Nintendo again, and like I don't know if that's a good look. And I hear you. You know what I mean? And in Operation Sports, one of my favorite podcasts, Rich Grisham tweeted out, I'm lucky to have gotten a Nintendo Classic, and he was one of the few people that I actually found that was having fun with it. And it kind of struck a bit of a note with me because I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I actually feel lucky to get one as well. And I started to have this weird, and this is, there's a little bit of a hyperbole in this, and I know this sounds ridiculous when we're talking about some $60 fucking Nintendo video game classic thing. But I was like, all of a sudden I feel lucky that I was able to give Nintendo $60 for something that I know they're limited releasing, pissing off hundreds of fans. And there's only a few people on Twitter right now that are like, I feel lucky that I got one. And then there's hundreds for every one person.
More than hundreds. There's thousands.
Yeah, for every one person that was like, I feel lucky I got one, there was hundreds of people just pissed off. And for that, I'm actually getting pretty sick of this bullshit that Nintendo continues to pull with every release, even a $60 little fucking Nintendo release. It bothers me. It's $60. It's not even
They're basically like, we're Nintendo, we're retro, and we're going to treat our stuff as if it were retro, such as like the pinballs or like, that my situation to tie that in. Like, they haven't been produced in 30 years, so of course they're scarce, so they're trying to create that scarcity of vintaging, or like retroizing. I guess I'm coining that term. I don't know, but
yeah,
like vintaging, like vintage their new things that they're producing or whatever. Like,
right.
So yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah, it's annoying. I get that. It is annoying because I don't have one.
Well, and I understand. Like, everyone can have patience, blah, 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 blah. Look, people, the reason that there's release dates, people get excited. This thing's been promoted. They've been talking about it. Fuck Nintendo. I'm sorry, I'm being very vulgar, and I'm trying to dial it back on the podcast. But fuck Nintendo for the fact that they sent review units of these goddamn things out to every major fucking publication when they knew damn well they didn't have enough of them to go around. Mm-hmm. That's fucking annoying. We're going to send out review units to all of these major publications and get people even extra excited, even people that already knew about it, that are going to fucking line up, knowing goddamn well that we didn't make enough of them. God, it pisses. I mean, it's actually, the more I talk about it, the more it's pissing me off.
I'll tell you when I'm going to get pissed about it. I'm not pissed about it now. I get why you're pissed about it. I totally get why everybody's pissed about it. Totally get it. But I personally am not pissed, but I will be pissed when my son wants something from Nintendo and I can't get it for him because Nintendo's got to go through these shenanigans. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, that's a good call. I mean, that's a really good observation. I mean, if this was something, and this isn't uncommon, this happens every Christmas, right? And, you know, the fucking Elmos or the other things. But yeah, you know, your kid wants something and you're like, make them. I'm willing to give you money. And it's different now. I think the one thing that's weird is it's different now because, and, you know, back when whatever it was, the Elmo thing or the other stuff, and people were
like Furbies or something.
Yeah, Furbies, and they're putting ads in newspapers and shit. Right now, with the internet as big as it is, just hold your product. If you're confident in your product, just hold your product until you can at least get enough to fill some of the demand. But, I mean, 6 units per store.
Yeah, it's pathetic. You're trying to, like, I don't know, and first world problems, blah, 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 whatever, but you're, like, trying to ruin some... I care for my kid. I don't care for myself. Like, you're trying to ruin most kids' Christmases that really, 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 really want this, or, you know,
think about this. What if your kid was a little older, Mitch, and you really, really, really wanted to give him this for Christmas so you could share some of your retro memories with him on Christmas morning or whatever holiday morning someone celebrates.
I've got a different situation. I have all those games.
Well, that's true. That's true. 100%, but not everybody.
Be like, here you go, dude. Here's the OG stuff. You can have this.
100%, but not everybody is us. Right.
So, yeah, that would piss me off. I would be I'd be heated if that were the case, but like right now I get why everybody's mad. I don't have the energy for being mad about it right now. You know what I'm saying?
And and I get it. And we've talked about that. Sometimes, you know,
it's annoying. It is annoying though. It's annoying and obnoxious.
You have to figure out where you want to spend that anger energy, but you know, it's just
oh, totally.
It's one of those things where, like, I feel everybody that's angry right now. Like, there's a lot of 34-year-old Mikes out there right now with kids, or 40-year-old, 50-year-old, you know, people out there right now with kids that are just getting into the age of gaming, and they want to share that moment and say, I was just listening to IGN's Nintendo Voice Chat podcast, and he said he took one of the hosts, Jose Otero, took one of the consoles to one of his family members' house and fired it up for I don't know, the one of the kids that he knows, and he showed him like the first warp in Mario, and the kid hadn't seen it before, and then like once he got through the warp and got to level 6, like the kid lost his shit and just was like, oh my god, that's so great. And it's like, there's a lot of parents out there that want to have that moment with their kids, and I hope Nintendo can figure out a fucking way to make sure that happens. Otherwise, don't drop it, you know, 2 months before a month and a half before the holiday season without any intent of making enough of them to meet demand.
Yeah, but that's exactly what their plan was.
That's exactly what, and that's why I'm pissed. And that's why I'm pissed.
No, I get it.
That's why I'm pissed. And they do it every time. They do it every fucking time.
Yes, they do. I understand.
And I should stop being pissed. I should stop being pissed. I even said it online because someone on Twitter is like, so you're not going to get the Switch? I'm like, no, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the Switch. I'm going to buy anything Nintendo puts at me because I'm never going to say no.
Well, you know, not until Nintendo stops making good games. But that's, you know, they've held up.
I hope, I guess on a positive note, I'm sorry for derailing this thing. It just, the whole situation just struck a nerve.
It needed to be.
The whole situation struck a nerve with me, and that's why I guess we have the podcast. But on a positive note, hopefully Nintendo is still making great games for everybody until, you know, we die. I hope, because Nintendo games are my favorite. Nintendo games, so Nintendo games are my favorite games, and it's funny because it's again with the Xbox One S and the PlayStation 4 and blah 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 blah. I still love Nintendo games. I still love the Wii U. That's still my favorite system of technically, quote-unquote, this generation. I don't need, like, I love the graphics. I love the modern stuff. I love Destiny. I love the modern Nintendo games, but the modern Nintendo games are still my favorite games, and, you know.
Well, look at it this way. The silver lining is why do we let Nintendo get away with this? Because they make fucking awesome games.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
So anyway, so yeah, I mean that good conversation on that. I'm always interested in anybody else's thoughts. Of course, Mike, you should just throw out the contact information out there, just because if anybody wants to weigh in, we want to hear about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know there's a lot of people that are very passionate about this topic as well. So questions at RetroGameFix.com is the email. The voicemail, again, we don't answer. It's a voicemail, is 678-995-5103. We can actually now play those voicemails on the show. So please leave us those. Again, 678-995-5103. Otherwise, your social media platform of choice, youtube.com, facebook.com, twitter.com/RetroGameFix. Twitter being the platform that we are most active on, but Facebook is certainly an option as well. So, or
just go to RetroGameFix.com and check it out.
Yeah, you can
go there too. We have links to all that stuff.
Do we want to? Do we want to hit a Best Buy Asked Best Buy story?
I will leave it up to you, Mike.
Let's do a Best Buy Asked Best Buy story. So,
do it.
You had one of these similar a couple months ago. We had talked about.
Oh my God! Every time I have to deal with Best Buy, I have this exact same scenario.
Yeah, so happen.
we're just nothing goes right.
It's funny. This is actually the exact same scenario. So you ordered, I think, some of the 3DS Classic games or something like that for store pickup.
Different. Well, I mean, at one time,
I don't remember what it was, but then it 2 hours went by, and they still didn't have your store pickup ready.
I did that, and I ordered a new 3DS XL at one point. Same crap happened.
Okay,
so, multiple times. That's why I'm saying it's like multiple scenarios. Same
story. So anyway, I wanted this Lego Dimensions because Lego Dimensions starter pack is like $90 normal. The BestBuy.com marked it down to $40 as part of their pre-Black Friday sale. Mm-hmm. And then with Gamers Club Unlocked, it was $32. So I was like, well, shit, I'll try out. I'll go get Lego Dimensions. That sounds fun. I like Legos, and I like Lego games, and I like, geeky, kid toys. Mm-hmm. And so I placed an order for the PS4 version, assuming that the PlayStation 4 version has this one rare figure that goes on eBay for $60, which was part of the appeal, not because I was going to sell it, but because I was like, oh shit, I can get this, thing that people aren't willing to pay $90 for, but I can get it for $32 and get the rare, cool figure that unlocks extra content. I'm going to go get that. Mm-hmm. So I order it. I pick it up. Carrie drives me because we wanted to get the kid out and, hopefully have her fall asleep in the car. And we're driving back, and me being the geek that I am, I fucking open it up in the car. And then I realized that, this isn't the version with the Supergirl in it. And I checked the website again. I'm like, fuck, I ordered the wrong version for pickup. Mm-hmm. So I go give that. So I call my uncle, who has my 8-year-old cousin, is like, hey, do you want a Lego Dimensions? He's like, yeah, I don't have it. So I bring it over, and I place the order for the new one. I get into Best Buy. It's been an hour. And they always say usually 45 minutes. I'm like, I ain't going to wait fucking 2 hours for you to pick it up. So I get there.
Has it ever been ready in 45 minutes in your
Well, the first order I placed today was ready in 20.
Oh, okay.
So we drove out there. So the second one was not ready, but I was like, screw it. So my thought was, I'm going to place the order. I'm going to leave the house. I'm going to drop off this first one at my uncle's house for his kids. And now I'm already spending $60 because I'm giving this to my little cousin, but now I don't got to buy him a gift, during Christmas. And so I head out to Best Buy. I get there, and now I'm an hour on the dot. And I'm like, all right, it's been a fucking hour. I'm going in. I go in. There's some on the shelf. And according to the website, there was less than 3 in stock. And I had to dig back to find the one that had Supergirl in it. So I don't even know. Maybe they couldn't even find it in the warehouse. Because I get up to the front, and I go to store pickup, and I say, hey, I'm supposed to pick this thing up, but I didn't get the email, but I found one on the shelf, so I just want to pick it up.
Right.
And I was like, can you just, run that? And he's like, It's not that simple. And then, so he has to go through his rig, fucking texting and doing whatever they do on their walkie-talkies. Contacts the warehouse. The warehouse is like, yeah, we got the ticket, but we couldn't find one down here. And I'm like, they couldn't find one down there. I wonder how many times they've canceled orders of stuff that's not in the warehouse that's actually on the shelf. So that struck me. But then, so 20 minutes later, finally, this kid goes downstairs. Thank God. He's like, I know how to do it. I'm going to go down and get this taken care of. Goes down to the warehouse, processes the ticket, comes up with the damn ticket, the warehouse pull ticket, stamps it on my box, scans it, scans my box, and I'm on my way. And I'm like, nobody could just print you the damn ticket and walk it up here? I did all of the work. The only thing left was to print the ticket.
Right.
So, yeah. So I got it. It's just like, why Best Buy? Why is it this hard?
Every time. I swear, like that one time that when I got the 3DS XL and this was just a different problem, I like ordered it, waited a couple hours, and I'm like, well, Best Buy's about to close, like I gotta go. I'm just gonna go up there and get it, I'll just pick it up off the shelves or whatever. I should have just done that in the first place. And their system was down. So I'm like sitting there in the thing, and they're like, yeah, you just have to wait. You have to wait. And I ended up waiting for like an hour, and I think they were already closed by the time everything went back up or whatever. But like, my God, dude, like, why is it that hard to order online and pick it up in the store? It's impossible. I've never had it work. I personally have never ever had it work.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. The other part is I would have just had them ring it up and not even mention the store pickup thing. But it was still marked at $90 in store. And so I should have just been like, hey, can you ring this up and see what the price comes up as? And then if it came up as 40, I would have just went through with it.
Right.
And then if it came up at 90, I'd have been like, well, here's the thing. I ordered it online. Best Buy.
Yep. That Best Buy story.
Oh, we always got one.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, I don't know. Is that what we got for this week? Do you got anything to add for this week's show?
No, no, I don't.
I already got it off our chest this week, huh?
I think so. I do have some stuff to talk about next week, but I'll leave that because I was playing some games, but we had our man-sized predicaments, and
I'm really happy to see that back. That's just a good feel, man. Like, I always feel better talking about my man-sized predicaments when Gene Simmons is there to talk with me about it, or to at least to kick it off, whatever my thought is.
Well,
I feel like kind of a douche, but
yeah, well, it's one of those things where when you don't have it, it's kind of like the Nintendo Classic. When you don't have it, you really want it, and then you get it, and you're like, wow, I really missed this.
Yep.
But you know what else?
What's that?
God damn it. That didn't work.
Okay. Maybe next time.
You know what I was trying. You know what, Mitch? Give me just a
I know exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's not going to be funny now. I'll save it for next episode. I'm going to save it for next episode. I apologize, listeners. I had something queued up, and then
it kind of shit the bed.
Literally. And with that,
right, well, yeah, exactly. RetroGameFix.com, the Retro Jones podcast number 96. This is Mitch.
This is Mike.
And we'll see you next week.
See ya.